Let's connect then with our chartists. We've got Dr. C.K. Narayan and Kunal Bothra joining in. Dr. Narayan, good morning. I'm going to begin with you. Quite a bit of volatility across the global markets. How do you think we're going to take cues from that, given that we were comfortably in the green for the frontliners yesterday?
Good morning, Aman. Good morning, everybody. Well, we have been having some volatility too, right? It's not just the global markets, but I think if you take the Nifty and the Bank Nifty over the last several sessions, they have been confined within a range and they have been traversing that range up and down too. So that's typical of low range volatility which has been happening in the large cap space. But I don't think the market as a whole has minded it very much because this volatility is visible in the indices, but there have been many individual stocks which have traded very well, particularly from the large and mid cap space. So I think traders at large, investors at large, active participants at large, I think they have all been keeping themselves busy trading in stocks that are showing some sort of sustained movement on a few day basis. So I think people have been just happy that the markets are not going down, and that is very evident that the Nifty has not gone down when there was a chance for it to go down. The Bank Nifty likewise. Now both the Nifty and Bank Nifty have come up and closed at decent levels yesterday, about 11,600 for the Nifty and about 22,600 for the Bank Nifty. I think this is something positive, provided of course that we see some follow through price action. SGX Nifty was not indicative of anything good at the start, so perhaps we may have to find our way around ahead. So therefore it should continue to be a stock specific day. So I will choose a couple of stocks that were in action yesterday as two buy candidates. Pharma as a pack picked up, and Cipla I think did well into the close. Many of them did, but I like Cipla. So Cipla is a buy for a target 770, stop loss at about 745. Now with a decent closing on the Bank Nifty, I am looking at private banks to do well if Bank Nifty shows some follow through. So this is a caveated buy, and if that happens, then Kotak Bank is the one that I fancy for continuation higher towards the target 1360. So Kotak Bank is a buy with a stop at 1310.
All right, there you have it. It's Cipla as well as Kotak Bank that Dr. Narayan is advocating a buy on. Kunal, meantime, what is it that you're watching out for the index, given that we have seen that play out between the broader markets as well as the frontliners? Do you think that we'll be able to sustain the momentum? And you too have Pharma stuck on your buy radar.
So yes, Awan, good morning. First of all, I believe yesterday's closing for both the indices, Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, was slight positive, especially for the Nifty. It was good positive because we managed to close back about that 11,600 mark. Now there is this inverse head and shoulder pattern which is getting formed on the Nifty on the hourly time frame chart, and the breakout is just about that 11,600, 605 kind of a spot level range. So I believe that this level is going to be very crucial for further levels of uptrend for the indices to come across. So I think after today's move, we'll get back into the grind again, and hope that if the Nifty crosses back about that 11,600 mark, this inverse head and shoulder pattern breakout could probably add a lot of meaning to the market in the near term. Now there's another aspect as well, that over the last 4 or 5 trading sessions, more than 21 or 22% of the Nifty OI got added. So in the last 4 or 5 days, and if you look at the last 4 or 5 days, there has been a gradual recovery on the indices from 11,200 plus levels. So if you try and add both of these factors, it indicates that there's been more long built up into the indices over the last 4 days. And looking at the bullish chart pattern, one could probably expect that a breakout about that 11,600, 605 range could lead to a strong upside on the index. However, I think on today's SGX Nifty, I believe that the intent could be very stock specific, as CK also mentioned about it. So I'll also keep it very stock specific. So one buy and one sell is what I would initiate at this hour. The first would be from the Pharma pack, and that's Dr. Reddy. After the announcement which came across for the stock, you saw a good build up of price action into this name. Open interest was also quite attractive for the stock as well at the closing basis, and there was a lot of demand in that regard. So I believe Dr. Reddy could be the stock which could probably remain in the bit of a spotlight yet again today. So buy with a target of 4,740 and stop loss at 45.50. The second would be a sell on Z. I think on the hourly time frame charts, there is a case of a bearish RSI divergence on Z Entertainment. So I think in that regard there could be some slight weakness which could come across in the stock. We've seen resistances playing out at this 223 225 zone. So keeping 223 as a stop loss, would recommend a sell on Z for a target of 205.